Thank you for joining us for Places Productions reading of Two to Redeem by Tim Mills. We are so proud of the cast and Mr. Mills, who has been our assistant director since the beginning and recently starred as Otto Frank in The Diary of Anne Frank. We look forward to the day we can present this play live on stage. Places is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to providing performing arts education and opportunities through summer programs, traveling performance troupes, and fully produced musicals and plays. If you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation to support programs like these, please visit our website, placesproductionsaz.com. Scene 1. Lights rise to an empty, modest apartment. There's a kitchen and dining area center stage and a living room stage left with a front door. It's early evening. There is a noise at the door of someone unlocking it. The door opens and a man around 40 comes through with a briefcase as if he's coming home from work. Holding the door open and looking out the door.
Come on, let's go. Door's open.
His daughter, about 14, stomps in angrily all the way to center stage.
I don't understand why I have to be here all by myself.
Dad closes the door and puts down his briefcase.
Becca, we've been over this. Your brother is working tonight.
Yeah, and I wanted you to pick me up when you picked him up.
Not when he's off at 10 o'clock. Like I said, this will give us some time together.
I don't want to be here. I was perfectly fine at Mom's hanging out with Kelly.
I have no problem with you playing with your friends. But I told you, though, that I was picking you up at 4.
Why do you want me here when I'm all upset like this anyways? You know I hate it here.
Of course, I don't want you here this way. It's not my intent for you to be like this. You don't have to be like this, you know.
Well, it's your fault I'm like this. I hope you're happy.
She stomps off stage right to her room.
Not exactly.
He sighs and slowly gets back to making dinner. Lights out in kitchen. Becca's bedroom remains lit. She's sitting on her bed making a phone call on her cell.
Come on, Kelly. Pick up. Where are you?
Scene 2. Lights up on the kitchen. Dad begins to set the table for one at the chair facing downstage, putting down silverware, a napkin, and a glass. Lights out. Lights up on Becca's room again. She's calling Kelly again on her cell. Lights up stage left where Kelly sits at the front of the stage with her cell phone and answering it.
Hello?
Finally, Kelly. Jeez, where have you been? I've been trying to call you.
Chill out, Becca. I was having dinner. Why are you still mad anyways?
Really? I told you that I don't want to be here. I'm being forced to be here. Wouldn't you be mad?
Probably. So, did your dad send you to your room or something?
No, I went to my room on my own, right after I gave him a piece of my mind.
I'm sure he loved that. Was he yelling too?
Actually, no.
Wait, he was calm the whole time you were yelling?
Yeah, so what's your point?
Look, I'm not trying to say that your dad is perfect, but maybe you should give him some slack. Sounds like he's actually made a point not to get into an argument with you, which isn't what I usually get from my dad.
Give him some slack? Believe me, my dad knows how to yell.
Yeah, but for some reason he didn't this time. You probably don't want to hear this, but maybe you should talk to your dad about how you're feeling instead of yell at him. Don't you think he deserves that much? Sounds like he's already made the effort.
During the phone conversation, lights have come up in the kitchen, and Dad puts a plate of food on the dining room table at the chair facing downstage. He looks over in the direction of his daughter's room. He sighs, then walks slowly towards Becca's room. He stops at her door. He can hear her talking on her cell phone. He quickly knocks twice.
Hang on. Yeah?
I just wanted to tell you that there's dinner in the kitchen if you're hungry.
Okay.
Dad walks away from a room and sits at his plate at the table and begins eating.
Hang on a moment, okay?
Becca comes walking towards the kitchen. She scoops food from a pot to a plate, grabs a fork and a water bottle, and starts walking back towards her room. Dad notices this and swallows quickly and begins to stand, shaking his head, not wanting her to eat in her room. He points in her direction, but stops. He sighs and drops his arm and slowly sits back down.
Just let it go this time, Chris.
He goes back to eating.
Sorry. I went to grab some dinner.
Wait, he's letting you eat in your room?
I'm in my room because I want to. I didn't ask his permission.
Look, Becca, I'm not there, obviously, but it just seems to me like he's making an effort. What do you think?
I don't know. Part of me just doesn't really want to think about it, you know?
Sure. You know I'm always on your side, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I guess I've been too angry to really think. I'll think about it.
Just trying to help my best friend.
Well, I better eat. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.
Scene 3. The father is now sitting on the stage left side of the couch in the living room, facing downstage, reading a book. After a few seconds, Becca comes out of her room with her plate with just the fork on it. She walks a little slower this time to the kitchen and puts her plate and fork in a sink. She begins walking back to her room, but slowly stops and turns around. She walks slowly to the couch on the opposite side of where her father is sitting and sits on the stage right side of the couch. She looks down, then looks in the direction of her father.
Can I talk to you?
Sure.
Look, I know I shouldn't talk to you that way, and I'm sorry. But I don't understand why I have to be here by myself.
Well, I understand that it's not always easy to see my point of view, but I only get to see you twice a week. It used to be 3 when you were younger, but you like being with your friends, so I'll take the 2. You and your friends get to see each other practically daily, which is fine. But I just don't think that the few hours that I get to see you is asking too much. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I do. But don't take this the wrong way, Dad. But what are we going to do? I mean, being with you isn't like hanging out with my friends.
Well, I don't want to be one of your friends. I want to be your dad. I guess we're going to have to reestablish what we do together since we took that break from each other.
I guess. I'm sorry about that too. It's not easy being a 12 and 13-year-old girl.
Well, I didn't take it personally. I knew it had a lot to do with your age. But you know, it was like I couldn't do anything right by you. We couldn't even talk anymore. Your talking became screaming. And it didn't even matter how calmly I was speaking to you.
Well, I was very angry. You know what? It was probably more me than you, anyways.
You know, I remember you telling me once that you were very angry at your mother and me for splitting up when you were only 1. You said it wasn't fair that you had no memory of your parents being together, no memory of a full family like your brother remembered, even though he doesn't remember much. But I want you to know that your feelings are valid. You have every right to feel this way. I just want you to know that I'd like you to come to me whenever you have these feelings so we can talk them out. I don't know. What do you think?
I guess so. I mean, we're talking now.
Well, thanks to you. Well, I don't know. I mean, at least we're talking. And thanks for being willing to talk, as opposed to yelling.
Thank you. I think I just realized something. Some of my anger isn't really about you. Mom and I don't really talk anymore. It seems to be mostly shouting.
Well, you and your mother live together. Perhaps it gives you more opportunities to be in each other's way and bug each other.
I don't think that's really the issue. I think it's just that things aren't really the same between us anymore. And I'm just now starting to realize how much I'm missing it. Like, I remember when I was about 6, Mom and I were on her bed one evening. We were painting each other's nails, and she let me paint some of hers. I remember knowing that I wasn't really doing it right, but it was the fact that she was letting me do it anyway. We just don't have times like that anymore.
Becca wipes her eyes as she is sharing this memory. Dad reaches over to a tissue box on the coffee table and hands a tissue to her.
Honey, I appreciate the fact that you're sharing this with me, but I really think it's your mother that should be hearing this.
Yeah, right. She'll probably get all defensive and not even hear what I'm trying to say.
Well, have you tried writing her a letter? Sometimes people accept things better when they're written in a letter. I don't know, it can appear, I don't know, less threatening that way.
I hadn't really thought of that. That might work. I'll think about it.
Well, again, it's your call. I just hope the two of you are able to talk this through sometime.
Me too. Time is another thing. She's been spending most of her time with Joe these days.
You know, if there's anything that I've learned from you and your peers, is that we have failed to put our children first. It's why that I have decided that I'm not going to date anymore until you and your brother are grown. I mean, at least I know that'll work for me. I mean, I'll miss the companionship at all, but I already know what it's like to miss you. I don't want to feel that again. We already messed up by you and your brother with the divorce. I don't want to mess up again.
Thanks, Dad. You know, I actually respect you a lot.
Wow. You know, to be honest with you, it's always been my hope that I could earn that back. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being patient with me and allowing me to grow up a little and get out of that preteen stage. And thanks for understanding.
You're welcome. And thank you for being willing to talk this out tonight. Oh, so what should we reestablish as our time? Before, we would go and see a movie together that your brother wouldn't like, or we would sit and watch one here. Other times, we would play a game while we were listening to your music. What do you think?
I also remember you allowing me to wet your hair with a damp comb and put my hair ties in it.
I really hope that you have grown out of that one. Plus, I don't think there's a whole lot up here anymore for you to work with anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what, you choose a movie and I'll choose a movie and you make some popcorn. Do you have any?
Movies or popcorn? Yeah, I believe I do. Sounds like a deal.
They both begin to get up from the couch. As Dad begins to turn around towards upstage, she gently grabs his arm.
Hey. Thanks.
She embraces him in a hug, returning the embrace.
Thank you.
The end. Thank you for supporting Places Productions, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. If you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation, please visit our website, placesproductionsaz.com. We hope to see you again soon.